you mentioned earlier, like, hey, we help people, pass on their first try quicker, easier, faster.
So there's definitely a handful of people that are really good at being able to read questions and extrapolate the information they need and be able to answer any type of questions that they see. And those people, it tends to be the biggest myth that I hear is that all you need to do to pass the exam is take practice tests over and over again and you'll be able to pass and you'll be fine. But
Mm.
for the majority of people, that's not going to be how they find success. And that's where most people end up finding me.
What is up? Welcome back to the CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins, and today we have a special guest I'm excited to interview. Actually, I don't know if I've ever had anyone on the channel that specializes in what she does and is as good as she is, building a monster YouTube channel, helping a ton of people in our industry. Here's what's cool about our special guest today. We get a ton of new agents who are looking at the industry and they need help passing their test before they can do anything else. And Melissa has helped hundreds of thousands for sure over the years with exam prep. And so I'm going to kind of dive into that word a little bit so you can learn more about her and what she does, as I'm super excited to have her on. So please welcome Melissa Dillon, aka the insurance exam queen.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks
Yes,
for joining.
absolutely. I'm super excited to be here. One, to let people know what I do, because I want to be able to help insurance agents be able to help all of their new people. I think that's obviously the biggest barrier to getting into the insurance industry is passing that darn exam. And the states don't really make it easy on people. And so I like to make it easy. I like to make it fast. And I help people pass quickly, usually on the first time. So I'm glad to be able to introduce this opportunity to, because of course, there's lots of recruiting inside the insurance industry. And it sucks when you spend the time recruiting, trying to get people. They want the opportunity, they're ready to go, and they just can't get past this exam. And I want to be able to help as many people as I can get past that exam to be able to enter into the industry, which is an amazing opportunity for people.
It is amazing. And too, I remember I took my test while I was an intern. It was December of 2010, local insurance office, and I failed twice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pass it till my third try, and I needed you in my life back then. Where were you at?
Yeah, well, 2010, I was still young enough back then. I think I might have been a regular school teacher at that point.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, because that's my background. I think that's what makes a huge difference between me and any of the other people who are teaching this exam. Is
Yeah.
most people who teach this exam are just insurance agents, whereas I actually have an education background. So while going to college, I was like, what's the best, highest paying job I could find? And it was insurance. So I was selling insurance while going to college to become a teacher. And then when I graduated, it was hard to leave the money behind and go full time into teaching. So I actually tried to do both at the same time. But eventually I landed on a position of being able to teach the insurance exam, which obviously is amazing. And I've turned it into a huge, massively successful business, which is fantastic. Because I think that's so much of like the insurance drive is like being that entrepreneur, to be able to take something and run with it and make a successful business, change the financial history of your family and everything. Like, it's cool that I get to do that in the insurance world without actually being an insurance agent. It's like I get to tap in with the cool people, but I get to come in from my own perspective, which is teaching, which I love to do.
Yeah, I've heard so many, and it's cool that you have a teaching background. I think that sets it up perfectly for what you do. Like you said, I've heard of so many horror stories of agents over the years who struggle with the test. Like there was one dude that I know that failed 17 times.
Yeah. 16 is the highest 16 or 24.
It may have been 16 and passed on the
Yeah.
17th, but my gosh, just crazy. That's commitment level for sure. But what would you say as far as like what you hear and then like you mentioned earlier, like, hey, we help people, pass on their first try quicker, easier, faster?
So there's definitely a handful of people that are really good at being able to read questions and extrapolate the information they need and be able to answer any type of questions that they see. And those people, it tends to be the biggest myth that I hear is that all you need to do to pass the exam is take practice tests over and over again, and you'll be able to pass and you'll be fine. But
Mm,
for the majority of people, that's not going to be how they find success. And that's where most people end up
yeah.
finding me. So most people listen to that advice. They are told, just take your practice test over and over again, whether it's Excel, Kaplan, ExamFX, 80 Banker, doesn't matter. They're given the same advice. Just take the practice test on repeat, get 80%, and then you'll be fine. The reason that that doesn't work for a lot of people is one, every state is different. So Kaplan may be good in Michigan, and you may have evidence that if I study Kaplan's questions and I take Michigan exam, then I could pass it if all I did was focus on questions. But there's 50 different states. There's like five major exam prep companies, and not every single one of them is aligned to the state that you're in. So while some are good in some states, you never know. Like I haven't, maybe I should write a registry of which exam prep company works in which state for doing that. But most people can't really read the question and figure out the information behind it. They need to be taught the actual information because the way that they word these questions is also really tricky. They're asking you things that you might not even know. Like for instance, somebody recently sent me a question where it said it was talking about the clause in your life insurance about if you're in military and if you're working or not working. And there was a phrase, while on leave. And this person didn't know that while on leave means that they're not active, that they're at home, right? They're not active in the military. So there's
Mm,
things inside the question that you have to have context for. And if you don't know what that means, like she had no military experience, why would she know what at leave means, So
wow.
there's things within the question that if you don't have context for, you can't figure out how to answer the question correctly. So the more that we're able to explain this information in a way that is easy to understand, in a way that makes sense, it allows people to be able to pick the right question on the exam. And that's another big thing too, is these state approved courses. So like Kaplan, Excel, ExamFX, whatever, they create a state approved course. It fits the requirements of what the state says, but that doesn't mean it's actually a good course for people to learn. Like they're not
Mm,
focused. It's not written by educators. It's written by like legal people who follow the rules about, making sure this definition is in the course because that's the state requirement. But what does
huh.
that definition mean? Like I read some of these courses and I'm like, how are you defining the word insurance with insurance? This makes no sense. Like you have to explain it in a way that makes sense to people. So that's what I do. I also make it super fun. So it's very boring. These courses just put you to sleep. Most of it is
Yes.
very text based. Your eyeballs are
Yes.
melting out of your head. And what I really, want to capture with people is you are presented with this amazing opportunity to work in the insurance industry. It is $1 trillion pie. Take your piece, take your piece of the pie. You're told you can make all this money, that you can do all these amazing things. You just have to pass this test. Then you're given this course, which is super hard to read, super hard to understand, doesn't make any sense. And then you're like, I can't have this opportunity because I can't even get through chapter 1 without losing my mind because I don't understand what they're saying. And they don't give a lot of real life examples, so there's nothing they can attach it to in their current present life. That's how most learners learn. Explain it with something that they already know so that they can make a connection in their brain and so that they can retain it in their
Yeah.
mind. If they can't retain it, then they can't recall it on the exam and they can't pick the right answer. So, and it's super boring. So, what I like to do is I supplement these state approved courses. So, most people, if they just watch my videos, they can actually bypass a lot of the reading inside of the state approved course and they could just hop to the quizzes. So, I teach the information in a way using real life examples. I keep it super simple. Like most people will say, some people have said it's kindergarten level, but I say I'm probably around like a fourth, fifth grade level with most of what I say. I
That's
break
cool.
down these complex insurance words that are difficult. And I'm like, here's what they actually mean. It's like super simple and easy. And then I make it fun. I add in a lot of jokes. I put in a lot of quirky
Mm.
stories, a lot of metaphors, a lot of analogies, and just pure memorization. Sometimes I'll just repeat something like agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. Agreement is known as offer and acceptance. It sounds a little crazy, but when you have all of this information you need to learn and memorize, most people will say, we have over 2,500 5-star reviews on my Google review. So if you want to see what success
Wow.
we have, it's amazing. But so many of those posts will say, I heard Melissa's voice in my head. And when I was taking the test, and that's like the power of my videos in being able to hear what I say when I'm teaching and the way in which I say it and the fact that I add a story to it so that it's locked in your brain. That's how
Yes.
people are able to choose the right answer when they take the test. And that's why we have a 90% first time pass rate.
Woo. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Oh
Yeah,
my
it is
God.
amazing. Because
The,
most people
the,
do take
uh,
at least 3 attempts. Like even that's true for you.
Correct. Yes, yes, yes. And I felt like too, to your point, I felt like in school, I could guess test questions well. Like I
Yeah.
could see it. I could be like, you know what? This one kind of looks like it's probably right, But the problem was, also to your point, I studied with a book,
Hmm.
old school, reading, no videos, and I
Hmm.
would catch myself falling asleep and drooling on my prep book.
Yeah.
And I finally, the third time, someone said, "Hey, you probably need videos." I'm like, no crap. Like I'm unprescribed ADHD. Like I'm all over the place, like for me to sit there and read, like, come on. Right. And, and I did, and it helped, I
Hmm.
have heard people like say, yeah, just do the quizzes or just jump to the test. But you're right. Not everyone learns that way. My
Hmm.
sister, even my wife, they learn different ways than me. Right. Like everybody else does.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I say. Like you get so passionate about the opportunity, and then you can't pass the test, and then you lose all your excitement. All the motivation you had to jump into this career to do this opportunity, and then you can't pass the test. And then the thing that breaks my heart the most is I'm in all these Facebook groups online for insurance, right? And somebody will say, I'm struggling with the test. And then you have people come in and say, if you can't pass the test, this is a sign that it's not for you. I'm like, how
Yes,
the
you're
heck
right.
is passing a test indicate that you're a good salesperson? In fact, if you're
Yeah.
a good salesperson, you're probably not good at taking tests.
Correct. Correct.
So, and it's silly too, like, because the exam, I get it. There has to be an entry bar. There has to be some level of understanding of insurance, but the exam is not their job. And so I try to tell people, like, because they're like, I don't get this information. I don't understand. I'm like, yeah, because they teach it in a way that sucks. Like, learn it from me and then you'll
Mhm.
understand it. And I'm like, you have to understand this is not your future job. You just have to pass this test to be able to get into your future job. I want to
Yeah.
make it as simple and as painless as possible. And people who do watch my videos, like, again, comment after comment, either in our Facebook group or in the Google review, will say, I couldn't understand anything. Melissa's 1 hour video taught me more than the 3 weeks I just spent studying this online course. And it's like, I
Wow.
wish people could access my stuff faster, but most people, they don't know that we're out there. So they get their course, ExamFX, Excel, whatever. They take their course. They're told, as long as I do the practice exams, I'll pass the state exam. They take the state exam, they get a 50%, and then they'll go to YouTube to try and find,
Yeah.
like, how do I pass the insurance exam, or what is the information that I need to know, and then they'll find me. So most people are like, if I had found her first, I was like, I know. So that's one of the reasons I got to be on your channel. I got to let people
Yeah.
know I'm out here, that we're helping people pass the exam so quickly and with excitement. That's
Yeah.
another big thing, is I bring passion and excitement. I am so passionate to get people into this amazing space where they can be an entrepreneur with, like, a basically already a set up business system. People
Yeah.
have to buy insurance, and people need insurance. And so you're selling something that people have to have, that they want to have, that they need to have, and all you have to do is present them with the opportunity and get them to, sign up. And I've seen being an insurance agent, raise people out of poverty. Like, it's happened
Mm.
with my own best friend. To be able to see her struggling at a job, I'm like, you already know how to sell. We can see that you can sell. Just start selling insurance. And she got into it, and it's been absolutely amazing. And I'm like, more people, if you don't need a college degree, you don't even need a high school diploma, you just have to pass this test. And I can help you do that quickly, within the first shot. Like, how much time is wasted trying to read the same text that didn't work the first time, read it again, wasting money on retest fees, wasting money on renewing your course fees because you only get a certain period of time, And I just want to make it so easy for people because it's such an amazing opportunity to be an insurance agent. And if they can quickly pass the exam and feel excited about that opportunity they have, it's so much better going in. Like how sucky is it that you're presented with this opportunity, then you have to go through hell to pass this exam, and then it's like you're beaten up heading into the learning about how to, okay, now I have to learn how to sell, but I just got my butt handed to me with this exam. I would rather them like blow on in, like, now I'm ready to learn how to sell. I'm so excited. Like, I want people to be happy,
Yes.
excited. And that's another thing with my videos too, is people will say, I was able to pay attention. Like I've had a lot of people tell me, in order to have successful education courses, you need short videos. My shortest video is probably an hour. Like, they're long videos. But again, you can read those Google reviews. I've never, like, people say, I had no problem watching her videos. I have ADHD, had no problem. I have this learning disability, that learning disability, and her video, English as a second language. I have training and skills. Like, most of my teaching is geared towards the fact that I speak to English as a second language learners. That's what in Arizona, I was a school teacher. So most of all of my students were English as a second language. So as I teach, I speak to people so that whether English is their first language or not, they're able to understand my information.
Yes.
So it's pretty powerful when you're using an actual instructor who's happy, upbeat, and can help you actually learn, retain the material so that you can pass. It's such a better process for people rather than giving them a course that totally sucks, demoralizing them, thinking that this is not the job for them. And if they can barely scrape by, then they have to now head into the real training about the policies and the sales structure, whatever their company has. And they already are so beat up. I would rather them enter in learning their sales training with excitement and like passionate to go forward.
Amen. And you have a lot of energy and excitement. I love that. Like, I relate to that. So many people I interview, I'm like, I wish they had more energy, right? I love that you're doing that. And if people relate to that, like, they appreciate that. Like, I remember my cousin, young dude. I mean, he was in his early 20s. He lived in Arkansas, and he was trying to pass his test, and he failed 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And he quit.
Yeah.
He never took it again. And he complains about his job all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
I know. And it's heartbreaking. Like, and this is one of the things I feel like I'm fixing some of my karma, because as a school teacher, failing was the worst thing ever. And we made students feel so bad about failing. And so when they get back their exam and they see the word fail, most people read that and say, I have failed. I'm a failure. I can't be successful. So a lot of what I do is actually like building their spirits back up and reminding them that they're a beautiful, strong human being. And that if this career is meant for them, they can have it. You just have to, get past taking this test. So a lot of the work I end up doing is mindset and emotional work, in addition to studying the actual information. We have a whole playlist on mindset, because I like to tell people too, I said, sometimes you fail the exam multiple times because you are not ready to be an insurance agent. Because as an insurance agent, you're going to face rejection. People are going to say no. You're going to be like, I need to make a sale right now so that I can make commission, so that I can feed my family. And if you're sitting with the energy in front of this person saying, if I don't make this sale, my life is over. And if you don't have the ability to handle them saying no, like, you're not going to make it in this industry. You need to build your resiliency and your character to be able to withstand rejection, and know that you can just get up again and do it tomorrow, because one sale can change everything, and if you can't hold on until that sale happens, then you're right, this isn't for you. So a lot of when I see a lot of people failing and failing and failing before they finally pass, it's because they need to do the mindset work to know that they can handle rejection and they're going to be okay.
It's big. It's so important in every way. I love that you mentioned that. If they're like, okay, so if you're not a like state approved exam prep company, then what is Insurance Exam Queen, and what do you do?
Yes. So the Insurance Exam Queen supplements a state approved course. So the most ideal situation with what we have, and we are working on becoming state approved so that we can be one and done shot for people. But the most ideal situation is that people can start with my videos. If they can get through the videos that I have, then one, they're going to be well on their way to being able to pass their course. So we recommend watching our videos, then going into your state approved course, whoever it is, Kaplan, Excel, AD Banker. I prefer Excel for one reason, because they have questions that are better aligned. So when you take their practice exam, like I said, you never know if the questions line up to the state, but Excel seem to be a little bit more aligned to the actual state exam than not. Whereas the other companies, their questions are way more wordy, way more tricky. They're trying to over prepare you, but I don't feel like people don't need to be over prepared. That's one of the big things I preach. You need a 70. That's it. Most states it's a 70. Michigan's like 72, something like that. But in most states, all you need is a 70. I teach the 70% you need to know. So I supplement, watch my videos, then go do your state approved course. You're able to breeze through it and not have your eyeballs melt out of your head, not fall asleep with pain, excruciating, trying to read this material. Then go take your state exam and you have a 90% first time pass rate. So that would be the most ideal situation with what we've got. Eventually, we will have a state approved course where you don't have to bother with anyone else. You can just have the Insurance Exam Queen. We've got the state approval, all the videos you need, get you your certificates, and be able to take and pass the test.
It's cool. It's a very creative idea to help a ton of people.
Yeah. And even if, so like on our website, goal, and with Excel, by the way, we do have a partnership with Excel that you have to use our link. They used to have coupon codes, but now you have to use official links.
Good.
But if you use our link, and we make sure you guys have that, you can get the general Excel course is $199. If you use our link, you get $9 off, and then you get enrolled into my Gold Class series for free, which is the one that comes with a 90% first time pass. And that's $97. But even if you already have a course, you already bought Excel, you already bought Kaplan, whatever, the $97 is a freaking steal, because that's like most people will spend that on their multiple exam attempts anyway. So, I save people a lot of time, because most people they'll sit there and say $97 is a lot. I'm like, you're spending 2 weeks studying material that makes no sense. And then you fail, and then you spend another 2 weeks reading that same material. I was like, your time is money. You could have passed your test by now, learned how to sell, and have some policies under your belt instead of complaining about $97. Like, invest in yourself, get done faster and quicker so that you can get out there selling. Because what they're losing is opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to spend yes, I have to spend $97 up front, but one, you're not going to spend nearly as much time trying to study, banging your head against the wall. Two, you're not going to have to pay retest fees. And three, you can get out there much quicker. You can start selling much quicker. And that's where the money's at. It's not saving, $47 on a test fee. It's making the money. I want to get you making the money. And as soon as you pass the exam, you can start making the money.
That's right. If they want to learn more, what should they do, or where should they go?
So we have our website, theinsuranceexamqueen.com, Insurance Exam Queen, whatever you end up typing in is fine. We also have our YouTube channel, Insurance Exam Queen, and we have a Facebook study group, Insurance Exam Queen. So as long as you type Insurance Exam Queen, you're going to find us. We're everywhere. And then I always recommend our Gold Class Series package. It's $97 on our website. And if you are an agency and you go to our website, you can actually fill out an agency registry, is what I guess we're calling it. And we do provide discounts to agencies who register with us. So that's definitely an opportunity. And anywhere you type Insurance Exam Queen, I'm even on Reddit, and on my YouTube channel, I have pink hair. So you find the pink haired lady on Reddit who teaches the insurance exam.
Yes. You withheld the pink hair from us today.
It's the new season right now. But YouTube channel is and like I tell people, I'm like, I got to be the most exciting thing that you're looking at while you're studying for this exam. Amen. So I am a little wild in my videos, but it works. It works so well.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for all you do and for coming on the channel. We appreciate you being on the podcast. You're amazing.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm excited for people to learn about what you've got. I want to put this on my channel so that people can know more about you. And yeah, I'm excited to help out your audiences too, because it's when we recruit these people and we have this opportunity to give them, but they can't move past this exam, it's all lost. I want to be that missing bridge between the people who want this opportunity. You want them to have it. They want to have it. Let's get them through the exam quickly and efficiently in one shot.
That's right. I love it. That's phenomenal. Also, appreciate you guys hanging and listening to us. If you enjoyed my podcast with Melissa, let us know in comments below. She does an amazing job. Again, the insurance exam queen. We want to continue to bring on people that are helping agents not only get licensed, but make money and help a lot of people. So thanks for hanging with us. We will see you on the next episode. Adios.